Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for messages for all signs and Reiki with me today. So today is February the 10th at 11:24 Mountain Time. We're going to be doing messages for all signs for February the 11th. Then we'll do Reiki for 5 minutes, and after that, free for all questions and or cards of the day. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Messages for the 11th. Let's start with Aries, as we always do. The Malachite would like to talk to Aries today, so let's take a peek, see what the Malachite has to say for the 11th. Got a little piece of hair on it. My hair gets everywhere. Aries, I think that there's somebody that you are missing on the 11th, and I think that you can hear them, but you can't exactly see them. So this could be something where you can talk to this person on the phone, but you can't be with them. So some kind of separation or some kind of distance between the two of you. So not being able to see somebody, but you are able to communicate with them and hear what they have to say to you. And I feel like you're missing that person. You're wishing for more than just to be able to hear their voice. That's for Aries. Anna Lopez, Ricky Jorgensen, Tay Medium, D.D. Ryan, Manuela Cavazos, hello, hello, and Mimi, hello, hello. Glad to see you all in the room. Thank you for being here on this fine Saturday. Let me take a peek at Taurus. Taurus. Today might be a stone day. My crystal ball wants to talk to Taurus. Maybe today is going to be a stone day, unbeknownst to me. Let's find out. Are there any stoners in the room? La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Taurus, it feels like you are getting a lot of attention on the 11th. It's like all eyes are on you. There's a big focus on you on the 11th. It feels to me like there's something that people are sort of rooting you through or rooting you to do. So you're having some kind of experience where people are trying to encourage you to keep going or to get it done or to reach that goal or whatever it is, Taurus. So something going on the 11th where there's a lot of attention being paid to you and people are really pushing you forward or rooting you forward. So I don't know, maybe you're running a marathon or who knows what. But anyway, that's Taurus's message. Thank you, Ricky, for helping Tay. All right, so now let's look at Gemini. Gemini on the 11th, I feel like you feel like you're a triangle trying to fit into a square box, and it's just not working. And so comes up to me, Geminis, that you need to have some conversations with the important people in your life about things that, there are definitely, something has to give here. Something has to give, because if you're a triangle, you certainly can't live up to the expectations of a square, now can you? That didn't sound so good, but you know what I mean? Like if you're one way and somebody's expecting you to fit into this whole other box, that's not going to work. So Geminis, I think that you're starting to realize that this is a situation. So it may be time to have some discussions about what can give here or whether you're even in the right place for some of you. That's a Gemini. There she is. Glad you made it and you can see me now. Tay, Gemma, hello, hello. Hello there, Striving. Glad to see you here, my dear. Starting to get a full house on a Saturday. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you don't mind, and if you haven't already, please share. I do appreciate that when you guys share. The more, the merrier. Let's take a peek at Cancer for February the 11th. Cancer, what I'm hearing is you have a new beginning on an old foundation. So this may mean you're getting a second chance at something, or you're restarting something that used to be. So this could be definitely very easily in a relationship for some of you Cancers, that there's a relationship that actually was basically pretty solid, but something gave with that. You may be getting a new beginning on adding to that relationship. For others of you, this could even be somebody that just went out of town and now you get to see them again, something like that. For others of you, though, this could be going back to school. Maybe you've gone to school and learned a trade and you became a little obsolete, and now you're getting ready to go back to school and get some refresher courses, something like that. But there's something about, there's a firm foundation that's already in place, and you're getting a chance to build on that again, Cancers. You have a Cancer moon, so that's for at least for your subconscious, if not anything else, Ms. Mimi. La da 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 da. Vegan Sid, I understand you're still waiting from yesterday, but we still need to wait until we get into question time, my dear. And I'm glad that you can make it in and catch me today. Let me finish with signs and Reiki, and then we'll go into that. But pop it in again. Pop it in the window again. Alrighty, Leo, let's take a peek at you. Leo, 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 Leo. Leos, I'm hearing that you're going to be sweeping the dust out of your life. I feel like you may be doing some things to clear your energy. You may be smudging your house. You may be literally dusting your house. You may be taking clutter and taking it to Goodwill or Salvation Army or whatever. You may be having a garage sale. You may be getting rid of psychic vampires. You may be getting rid of negative situations that haven't been helping you move forward. I don't know why, but I'm being nudged to talk about this. But one of the things that I did at one point was not really get anything out of the house, but for a while after I had moved, I did not have, what do you call that goes under the mattresses? A bed frame. So my mattresses were on the floor, and I got to tell you, I felt really poor when my mattresses were on the floor. I just felt like I was in abject poverty. And I know that's ridiculous because some people don't even have mattresses to have on the floor. But it really helped my mindset a lot when I found a bed frame on Craigslist and went and got a bed frame really cheap and put it under those mattresses. All of a sudden, I did not feel like I was the poorest of the poor anymore. So there's something going on here, Leos, where you're getting rid of dust. You're getting rid of old ways of thinking that were holding you back. So something's going on with that for you, Leos. Getting rid of thought processes that aren't so good for you. That sounds like you, Ms. Cancer Tay. Cool, cool. Excuse me. Virgo, let's take a peek at you guys. Gosh, do you Virgos like work for the government or something? I'm feeling like I see something about secure communication, and I haven't heard about secure communication since I was in the Air Force, really. Top secret, classified, all that stuff had to be transmitted via secure communication. You'd had to go to the communication squadron, and they had a certain place that had secure lines where you could send secure emails or make secure phone calls. What's going on with you, Virgos? So let's see. Let me quit messing around with you guys and feel into this. I do feel like you are making some kind of communication, Virgos, and you want to make sure that the other person actually hears that communication or actually reads that communication or actually receives that communication. So really, you could be sending something via certified mail. You could be, waiting until you can stand in front of the person and talk to them so you can see their facial expression and see if they're even paying attention to you. But there's something about secure communication. You want to make sure that your communication is paid attention to and heard and given its due acknowledgement on the 11th, Virgos. You're getting rid of a lot of stuff. That's right, Manuela, you can. And I'm in Jen. Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you? Is that what it was? It was bad feng shui? I never know exactly how to say that word, but hello, hello, Nora. We're glad to see you here, my dear. Hope you are well. I didn't even know that was a feng shui thing. I just knew I felt poor. And there was no reason for that. You can be poor without feeling poor. You know that, right? Okay, so Libras. Libras. Let's take a peek at you guys. Libra's on the 11th. What I'm feeling like and what I'm hearing is that you have a new and surprising beginning. I feel like there's something that you weren't expecting that's going to be coming up. I don't feel like it. Well, for some of you, this could be something that's brand new, a brand new person in your life, a brand new job, a brand new project, a brand new hobby that shows up. I feel like whatever this is, it's a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. It may have some responsibilities tied to it, but I think that you'll feel like it's way worth the responsibilities. And for others of you, I think this is still a surprise, even though this is a new good thing that comes out of something that's already in existence. So that could be happening just as easily. So either it's a totally brand new good thing surprise, or it's a good surprise that's brand new on something or building on something that already exists, Libra. I did say it right? Oh my goodness. I wish I could remember how I said it now. You need something new? I hear you. All right. Let's look at Scorpio. Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Uh-huh. Okay, so what I'm hearing for Scorpio is turn the doorknob. I feel like we have an opportunity that's right under our noses, Scorpios, and we are really balking on taking on this opportunity. I think we're afraid maybe there are strings attached or we're overthinking it. But definitely there's an opportunity right in front of us. All we have to do is reach out and turn the doorknob and walk through that door. But I don't feel like we've done it yet. I feel like we're still thinking about it. Spirit is encouraging us, just take the doorknob and open the door. I don't know if I'll follow that advice. Good luck to those of you who do. Nope, you didn't miss either one. They're still coming up. Alrighty, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. What am I seeing for you guys? Sagittarius, this seems like a strange message to me, but on the 11th, I think you're going to be decoding some gibberish. How do you decode gibberish? That's why I think it's a weird message, because you can decode a code, you can decode something that's been put together logically. You're decoding gibberish. So I don't know what's going on with you guys, Sagittarius. If you're laying next to somebody in the bed and they're like talking in their sleep and it makes no sense, but there's one or two words or whatever that gives it away for you, like, oh, that's what this person is dreaming about. Okay, I get it. Or if somebody is just like totally like wasted out of their mind trying to speak with you and you have the empathic talent of decoding gibberish, the empathic talent, aka burden of decoding gibberish. But there's something coming up about you guys decoding gibberish on the 11th. You guys will have to let me know how that turns out. Yeah, it could be babies, Dee Dee. Could be babies, but you know what? Babies was not a thought that was suggested to my mind. So I think this is more somebody's dealing with somebody who's either out of it asleep or out of it with mind-altering products, shall we say. For those of you who are here, if you have not already, and if you don't mind, please share. I do appreciate you guys sharing. I really do appreciate all you guys being here and sharing and all your support. Everybody who gets readings and Reikis and all of that good stuff. Yeah, isn't that funny? There are some things that seem like they would be obvious interpretations, but when Spirit doesn't put it into my brain, then I know if somebody says that later. No, that wasn't there. That was not there. That's not what that was about. Let's take a peek at Capricorn for February 11th. Gosh, we're already getting a third of the way through this month. More of them. Capricorn, Capricorn. Capricorns, I'm getting that you're feeling like you don't know where things are going to end up or what direction things are taking. Okay. But I'm also getting the sense that you do know in this moment what you're doing. And I'm kind of getting the sense that for right now, what you know in this moment is enough. So if you don't know where the future is taking you right now, then that's okay. Spirit is just advising you, well, focus on this moment. Where is this moment taking you right now? Focus on this moment. Stay in the present. Don't worry about where this is going to lead down the line potentially. The only thing you need to be focused on is being in some good moments now. And if this moment is not what you want it to be now, what can you do to make it what you want it to be? Just start doing that. But focus on the now. Don't worry so much about 2 years down the road or even 2 months or 2 weeks down the road. Spirit's saying, don't sweat that. That stuff is going to fall into place and it's going to happen either way, whether you sweat it or whether you don't. So stop sweating it and enjoy your present, Capricorns. There should never be anything under my bed. Now you guys are going to have me looking under my bed to see if I stashed anything there or not. I think part of the reason why I got a bed frame too was I wanted to put stuff under the bed for storage. We'll have to see if I have boxes of clothes under there now. Angela Lukes, glad to see you in the room. In the room. Let's look at Aquarius for the 11th. What do I see for Aquarius? Okay, so for the 11th, I see you guys on the move. On the move. I don't think you're sitting still in any one location for very long. I do think that you have purposes or missions for every location that you're going to, Aquarius. For some of you, this is getting, weekly chores done on the weekend. But for others of you, this is something more like, big exhibits or shows, or whether you're actually like a vendor at the show or whether you're going to be a spectator at the show. Either way, could be either way. But so it's not all just mundane stuff. Some of it is really about pleasure or enjoyment on one side of the coin, or expanding your finances on the other side of the coin. And for some of you, that's going to be both. Okay, so that's Aquarius on the 11th. Pisces, Pisces. And we're back to the stones again. Fluorite wants to talk to Pisces today. Let's see. What does the fluorite want to say? Pisces. The impression I'm getting is that right now you feel like your life has some really jagged edges to it, or awkward, uncomfortable edges. There are some things that you feel like don't really fit in with what you want in your life. And the message that's coming through is that even those jagged edges have a purpose. There's a reason for them being there. You may not see it right now. You may not understand why there's this awkwardness. But what I'm hearing is things are lining up for you perfectly. I guess whether it's a straight path or not, things are lining up for you perfectly. And maybe this crooked path or these jagged edges in your life are part of how things line up for you perfectly, Pisces. So don't be stressing out about it. Just find what you can appreciate about those jagged edges and keep moving forward. La da 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 da. La da da da. I don't have the sense that it's so much intuition for the Pisces striving. It feels more like it's material goods that are kind of giving you guys jagged edges. That's okay, Annie. You can always re-scroll it back. Oh, I have somebody I need to tell about that, Mimi. Things under the bed stop positive airflow, and the toilet seat left up makes money flow out of your life. Somebody's going to have to start putting my toilet seat down. Hello there, Tammy Bombay. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? Alrighty, so let's take a peek here. Let's do Reiki. We're done with signs. Let's do Reiki for 5 minutes. What I'm going to do is set the intention for whatever will be of most benefit to each of you that are here. And then if you guys have a more specific intention, all you have to do is reset that for yourself. Those of you who do not catch the broadcast, if you watch this later, all you have to do is receive the Reiki, set the intention to receive the Reiki later. It'll do you just as much good as those who are actually here while I am. So let's get it going. That's a good guess, Mimi. Okay, so it's 11:46, so we're going to do Reiki until 51 after the hour. Yeah, if you set that intention, Tay, it will increase your psychic abilities. I've had people get Reiki for psychic abilities, and they met spirit guides and saw visions and all kinds of stuff. Actually, as I was sending the Reiki. And then, of course, more stuff happens afterwards. And then I had another lady that I was giving her Reiki because she was kind of stuck in her grief. She had lost a young adult child, and now she has dreams from him all the time and passes along messages to people who he would like to pass along messages to. So definitely it helps with that type of stuff. Yeah, but it just seems like such a handy space, doesn't it, striving? Right? So if you want to crank that open, you can ask the Reiki to help you become more open. Or if you feel like you need to find balance, you can ask the Reiki to bring you balance there. Like if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed with messages, that can be a problem. So you can ask the Reiki to bring you balance in that area, whichever way you would like it to go. You just ask the Reiki for the help you need. Feet shouldn't face the doorway. My head isn't going to face the doorway, I'll tell you that much. Not when I'm laying in bed. I'm going to have my eye on that doorway. Oh, I think I saw a trailer for that about a month back. That's probably going to be a pretty good movie. Annie, no, the Reiki is only sent to those who actually give me permission to send it. So by you guys being here, the permission is implied that you would like me to be sending you Reiki. This other person doesn't know anything about what's going on, and so we cannot divert that Reiki to that person. The stones are fun whenever they call out, aren't they? I'm surprised my Labradorite hasn't called out, but he's been pretty happy. He's a pretty light color for a while now. Yes, we have 1 more minute of Reiki, Miss Lorraine. Yeah. Now, the other thing that you might try, Annie, is you can let that person know to watch on my lives, or you can let that person know that I offer 1 free Reiki session if they would like to see what it can do for them, and just give them my contact information. And I'm happy to answer any questions they have about it before we actually schedule the session too, if they have questions. Sarah Beth, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you? And my contact information, by the way, is on my website, which is www.amista.info. Yeah, because if that person's having financial problems, free is exactly the right price. Okay, striving. All right, so that's the end of Reiki. Let me go ahead and shut that down. All righty. So let's open up the floor for free-for-all questions or card of the day. Choose one or the other. I'm not going to do both for you, just one or the other. And please do not send any repeat messages because you guys are going to overwhelm me already anyway. So let me try to just get through what you guys send. Gemini Croft Baker wants a COD. Gemma, why did you send that in twice, silly girl? Renee Martin, I'm glad you said hello. Glad to see you here. Alrighty. Gemma Croft Baker. Here you go, honey bunny. You've got the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is just telling me that you have a new epiphany, a new idea, or a new understanding that has sprung into your life either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. So this is a real aha moment. And when the Ace of Swords comes up and shows us an aha moment, it's something that we understand something better than we used to. And by understanding this one thing better than we used to, it makes a lot of different pieces click together in our lives, in the puzzle of our lives. So it doesn't impact just one area of our lives whenever we have whatever this aha moment is that Ms. Gemma Croft Baker either has had within the past 24 hours or will have within the next 24 hours. Annie Lennington is up next. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Annie Lennox, you got the Five of Mirrors in reverse. Five of Mirrors in reverse just tells me that there's something that has disappointed you, and whenever that disappointment showed up in your life, what you did is you sort of adjusted your priorities so that that disappointment could not impact you in such a big way again. And now, for whatever reason, you're going back to the way things were. So you're making that, whatever that was that disappointed you, you're making it a priority again. You're giving it more authority in your life again. I'm never really too happy when I see this card because I can't think of too many reasons why we would do that. That would be healthy reasons. So if you would take a look at that and see if that's really what you want to do, that might be a good idea. Angela Lukes would like to have a COD. Okay. Angela Lukes, you got the Hanged Man in reverse. This just tells me that you were hanging around waiting for things to happen, and now you have been released. Maybe you have new energy. Maybe there's no snow on the ground. Whatever it is, now you are out doing the things, that you want to do. No more paralysis. I hope that makes sense for you, my dear. Manuelo, COD for you. I should say Manuela. Manuela. You got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles means either you're not doing what it takes to bring your income in, or you're out blowing your budget just figuring, well, I'll fix that later. But spending more money than you know you should. Ricky Jorgensen is up to bat next for a COD. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da. Ricky Jorgensen, you've got the Journey in reverse. The Journey, when it's right side up, talks about change, transformation, doing things differently, taking things down to bare bones and then rebuilding them. This card also talks strongly about intuition with the ravens and with the moon in there. When you have this in reverse, actually what I think, Ricky, is you're sort of blocking your intuitive abilities right now. You're a little bit afraid of seeing what you might see if you were to take a peek intuitively. So blocking your own intuitive abilities. Don't do that. Just saying. It's not good for you. Tammy Bambi. Let's do Lenormand for Tammy Bambi. What happened to Vegan Sid? Where's his question? Did he put it in here? Tammy Bambi, house card. Here is the moon. Cover card. Here is the mountain. Seriously? I go from tarot cards to Lenormand cards, and I basically get the same thing. Two different people. Tammy Bambi. You're blocking your own intuition. You don't want to hear what it has to say to you. Stop that. Two people in a row. Stop that. Anna Lopez, COD. You know, we're coming into the time of Pisces. Intuition is going to be strong for everybody. Something to be taken advantage of and used well. Anna Lopez, COD. Anna Lopez, 9 of coins in reverse. This is just telling me that you're wishing that there was somebody else around you, somebody that you're missing or that you were missing. within the past 24 hours or within the next 24 hours. When this card comes up right side up, this is the independent person. She has everything that she wants. She doesn't really need anybody. When it comes in like this is the independent person that, even though they are pretty self-sufficient, they would like to have company. Okay. All right. So that was Anna Lopez. Now we need Anna Minton. Sorry for drinking so much on the videos, guys, but it helps my throat. Whenever you talk like this, you can dry out your throat really fast. Anna Minton, C-O-D. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da. So many options, this deck is telling me. So many things we could show you about Anna Minton. Let's see, let's pick this one. Anna Minton, what you have is the Sun card. This is an interesting Sun card because the Sun actually has a tear on his cheek. To me, what I feel like for you, Miss Anna, is you are the cheerful, the bright, shining, the source of sunlight for a lot of people in your life. That you're the one that's up, that's positive, that's outgoing, and that's gregarious. But I think that if people would look behind the mask, and I feel like it's a thin mask, like it's hard to understand why people aren't seeing this. You're not as happy as you are portraying yourself to be. You have some issues too. Just they're so busy with coming to you, and they always expect you to be in such a good place that they don't realize that. I hope that makes sense for you, my dear. Renee Martin is up next. Renee, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Glad you're here. COD for Renee Martin. Renee. Renee, I feel like this is actually talking a little bit about more about your personality than anybody that you're interacting with. And this is telling me that you have a very young outlook on life and on love. You can be very idealistic. Some might even call you naive. You expect the best out of most people. You expect the best out of most people. And I think that you are, I feel like you're searching for somebody who deserves this cup that's being held in the picture, that deserves to receive your love. And I think that you're trying to be picky about this. You're trying to be picky about this, but I think that when somebody shows you some positive attention, that's really kind of all it takes to change your mind. You don't really have a lot of other standards as well. And so this could be potentially a kind of hazardous situation to go forward like that. So the advice here is basically that you may want to put into place some standards of what you expect from relationship and people who are in relationship with you, especially romantic relationship, but also in friendships. People who are like you, Miss Renee, can tend to be very empathic and can pick up on how other people feel. And so, you may find yourself like drawn to the underdog or drawn to people that are not really healthy for you, whether they're friends or whether they're romantic partners, people that you can help. And so you may want to be, like I said, adjusting those standards, taking a look at that and adjusting those standards. Okay, so that's for Renee Martin. Next we have Lorraine Southwick. Will Lorraine get the help that she needs tomorrow? Are you asking me about your son coming up to help you move your washer into place? Is this essentially the same question that I got yesterday, only we're taking the sun out of it? Will Lorraine get the help that she needs tomorrow? Mm. Mm. I believe that you will, and I believe it's going to be later in the day than you're expecting. The first person that you call on is just going to be a grumpmeister. I think the second person that you call on is going to have other things going on. And I think that the third person that you call may not be somebody that can actually help you, can be somebody that you actually talk to about the situation, but they know somebody who can actually help and they get them involved. So I really think you are going to get the help that you need, but it's going to come later in the day than you're expecting and not from who you're expecting it from, Miss Lorraine. That's what I would say. Dee Dee Ryan. Let's go Lenormand for Dee Dee Ryan today. Oh, no worries, Gemma. You're quite welcome. Your biggest blessings are aha moments. That's right. You're quite welcome, Tay. Thank you, Manuela. I'm going to try. Okay, Dee Dee Ryan, house card. You've got the cross. Your cover card is the bear. Oh. Dee 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 dee. Okay, so the cross can be something spiritual or it can be a burden. What I heard when I first pulled the cross is that we're talking about a burden in your case, Miss Dee Dee. Okay, now the bear can be somebody who is very protective of you. Could be a male, could be a female, either way. This is someone who is protective in the extremes. So the fact that we've got the bear covering the cross, this is telling me that you have somebody that is so protective of you that it's become a burden. Like at this point, it's not sweet, it's not romantic, it's not cuddly, it's in the way, it's a burden, it's heavy. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to do about that, Miss Dee Dee. Good luck. Good luck. It started out nice and sweet. Now it's kind of like, oh my gosh, really? So that was Dee Dee's. You're not really understanding your card. Basically, the advice on the card is raise your standards as far as what you expect from people who interact within your life, Annie. Let's see, or Anna, I should say. Oh, very cool. I'm glad you go back to that sometimes, Anna. That's awesome. Glad you made it back striving. You know what? Did I do a question for you or a COD? I might have. I don't remember now. That makes sense for you, Angela. Glad to hear that. Vegan, I'm so glad you made it back in. Please ask the question. If I get to it before the alarm goes off, I can hit it. I've been looking for that question. You're quite welcome, Ricky. Manuela. Right? I hear you, Manuela. So that makes sense for you. I hear you striving. It's a scary movie? Oh, it's not the movie I was thinking of then. I don't watch scary movies. Rent raised. Here we go with Vegan Sid's question. Yay. Shall I stay since the cat loves it here or move to astrocartography Venus line in North Carolina? What would be better? Okay, let's ask it this way. Let's ask if it's a good idea for Vegan Sid to stay in the place that he lives now, even though the rent is raised. Let's ask it that way. That makes it a nice yes or no question. Ooh, I wouldn't. No, 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 no. Your first card is not too bad. You get the Nine of Swords reversed, which talks about a relief of stress. So I think just knowing that you could, even though the rent's raised, that it's not raised too much, like you wouldn't have to move, I think that's a great relief for you. All right. Just sorting out the rest of this. Justice in reverse. Probably the rent is too much, is what I would say. Even with it raised only to the point, I mean, you could still stay. It's still not a fair rent. This talks about if you stay, I think that there's going to be a situation that comes up that you're not going to be very happy about. That's the Ace of Cups in reverse. That's not happy. That's somebody showing you their true colors and you're like, oh, I don't like you so much. This is you not being very happy and kind of throwing a fit if you stay where you are. So I don't know what's going to happen or what kind of changes are coming in where you are, but I don't see you being happy there. And then Emperor in reverse. This is really frustrating. This is really frustrating energy. This is like trying to manifest and not being able to manifest the things that you want to if you stay there. So I would say you don't want to stay for sure, just because you can. COD for striving. Striving. You've got the Three of Arrows in reverse. This just tells me that you're recovering from some kind of heartache. This could be you and another person having a heart-to-heart talk after a potentially harmful situation has happened or had happened. Or this could be you just doing some healing work on yourself so that whatever it was that happened doesn't trigger you anymore or make you so upset. But healing from a heartache is what I have coming up for you, striving. That's a nice card. Working to heal, balance, ground, fall in love with you. Very cool, Anna. Hello there, Romy. Welcome. Glad to see you, my dear. We don't care if you're late. We're glad you're in the room. Right? That's the thing about intuition. It's a double-edged sword. It gives you a heads up, but sometimes you really don't want to know. You're like, can I just pretend I didn't know that? You have been here before? Okay. You're quite welcome. No worries, Anna. Glad you like it. Romy has a question. Will the appointment with Andy happen this Monday? La da 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 da, la da da da. Dee Dee, just keep your eyes open for how this could manifest, because if you haven't already seen it within the past 24 hours, just be aware within the next 24 hours this could show up. And then also realize that after that, if it hasn't shown up, then the energy may have completely changed, and I wouldn't keep looking for it after that if it doesn't show. Will the appointment with Andy happen this Monday? Well, the first thing that I heard whenever I voiced your question, Romy, was flaky Andy. Um, you have a lot of energies at play here. I think it can possibly end up happening this week. I think you're going to actually be the one that decides whether it does or not in the end. It looks to me like you guys have something set up to happen that doesn't happen because of some kind of addiction issue or something like that. And then you're going to have another chance after that to meet with him. You get to decide if you want to do that or not. For a second there, I thought I smelled like beer. You know how beer smells like coming out of the pores of somebody's skin? Yeah, I'm smelling that again. Did I call him a grumpmeister? Why doesn't it surprise me that I would use a word like that? I understand, Tammy. I'm sorry too. I was driving. I'm sorry for you like that. Yasmin, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. You don't want him back, but he's interrupting your dreams. Get out. Let's see what we've got here. Which deck do I want to use? I want to use this one. This is my spy deck. This is the deck I use to spy on the exes. Is Eric still in love with Yasmin? I wouldn't say that he's still in love with you, but he does have some complicated things going on as far as emotionally. So it doesn't surprise me that he's still showing up in your dreams. First of all, I do feel like he was really stressed out by the fact that you guys broke up. But he does take some fast action. Excuse me, I think immediately after he tried to fix things, now he's at the point where he's like really depressed. He has no hope for this relationship moving forward. And so he is moving on, and in a very unsettled way. Like when I say moving on in an unsettled way, he's coming up as the Knight of Wands, which means he's just going to be, chasing every new thing that comes around. But this is not a very serious energy very much until they get a little bit older and they become a king. So he's not very serious about anybody, but that's how he's finding his happiness. It's just by enjoying the attention of other people. So he was stressed out about the breakup, but he doesn't really expect anything to happen to come of that. Looks to me like he's trying to come up with ways to keep himself from thinking of you. So what I would say is this guy is probably more of like an air sign type personality, that he thinks and pays more attention to his thoughts than he does to his feelings. And in which case, you're not going to see a lot of feelings on a spread like that, which we really didn't. We saw a lot of action and thought. So I don't see him as coming back and pursuing you again. I do see him as trying to get rid of those feelings, but does he still love you? I would say probably. Even though they didn't show up in that spread, I would say probably, just from based on his actions. Ibru Ak. Can you find a new job? That's a pretty open-ended question. Can Ibru find a new job? I don't even have to put cards. Like, the answer is yes. I think there should be more to that question. But the answer is yes, and I'm not going to pull cards for that because I don't need to. Astrocartography? I have not. Shadowscapes is one of the decks that I use here, yes. I like it. I like all of my decks, though. You're quite welcome, vegan. And then, if we're both here tomorrow, you can always ask, should I move to that line you were talking about? Then that could be another question. Oh, thank you, Romy. Yeah, I saw you made a couple of comments on a contest I had there a while back ago. You're quite welcome, Dee Dee. That's okay, Romy. I think if you scroll back, you should be able to catch it. Thank you for sharing, Striving. I appreciate that. You're way down the list. Oh, very cool, Yasmin. You're quite welcome, Ebro. You're funny. Well, what do you know? We made it through everybody, and my alarm hasn't even gone off. I wonder if I set my alarm for the right time. Probably not. Anyway, that's all right. We got everybody taken care of today. How do you like that? Woohoo. So it's time for me to get out of here and come back and timestamp this and then get on to the next thing for today. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for keeping me company, keeping me fresh and on my toes. I really do appreciate it. And I thank you all for sharing. For those of you who would like to book a live reading with me or would like to book a recorded 1-question or 2-question reading with me or would like to book Reiki with me, you can find out how to do that on my website, www.amista.info, I-N-F-O. If you have questions about any of that stuff, feel free to give me a call. I am the expert. I can answer those questions for you. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you all for those of you who have booked before. And thank you for sharing, for liking, for commenting, and all of your support. Everyone have a beautiful, fantastic, wonderful weekend. Peace out.